Hi, I'm Jenny Cockrell, founder and CEO of National Real Estate Payments Corporation. I wanted to take a moment today just to introduce myself to you and thank you in advance for taking a look at our business plan. Just wanted to give you a little bit of history about myself. First of all, I am the proud grandmother of the fifth granddaughter who was just born December the 29th, so I decided to celebrate with pink hair. I'm sure they're all going to love their Mimi with pink hair. But that also reflects my personality. I am a person who thinks outside the box. I always have. And I'm a visionary. I've always been the kind of person to see what's missing, what services are needed, what services aren't being provided. This actually began, I consider pretty young. I had my first brick and mortar business opened when I was 25 years old, which was my dream of having a high-end ladies' shoe store. I felt like that was extremely successful, especially in a smaller area like Greenville, South Carolina. My downfall came when I decided I wanted to branch into the men's shoe store, which was not a good idea. Men's shopping habits are not quite like women's, so although there was a market for it and an opportunity, men don't change their shopping habits very easily. So that was the downfall of that business, but taught me a lot. After that, I actually took a position with Cachet and opened a store here in Greenville, South Carolina. This was I'm going to prove my management ability position. So dove head first into that position, and we were the most profitable store in the Southeast for Cachet stores. And because of that, I was recruited by another company who is out of business now called Exente. And I was to be the shoe buyer for a chain of 20 stores. This was definitely my dream job. And in the interim, I was to step in and do a little management for the Greenville store. And I realized that, in fact, I would have to work so many hours that I wouldn't have a lot of time to spend with my children. Now, mind you, this was when I was a single parent, so this was a big concern. So I made a decision. I made a decision that for my family it was best for me not to take the dream job and the big salary. And so I decided, since I was going to make a sacrifice, to go all the way. And so what I mean by that is I got out of retail completely and decided I wanted to do something that would allow me to be at home with my children who were school age at that time. So I thought about it and I decided that the best business to start was a business catering to business lunches. So I obviously must have competed with someone, because someone complained and DHEC approached me and said, you really have to have a complete separate kitchen. You cannot work out of your home with food. So I decided, okay, if I'm going to have to spend the money doing that, I'll just make it a restaurant where people can actually stop in and order, and I'll have even more business. So I chose the downtown location. This was very funny because a lot of my friends said, Jenny, you're going to open a restaurant, but you don't cook. I said, well, I can read. So I studied cookbooks and enjoyed that, as I do anything that I decide to devote myself to. Opened the restaurant, and it was quite good, I will say so myself. Everything was homemade: sandwiches, salads, soups. Then I discovered the internet. It was actually one of my customers that introduced me to the internet and how business was being done on the internet. Because when I started the restaurant, it was all faxes. I faxed my menu to everybody. So I found the internet quite amazing. And at the time, like I said, I was a single parent and owned my own home. It was at that point where it started to need a lot of repairs. And I thought, let me sell this and rent for a while, let somebody else worry about repairs. So when I did that, I found a daunting task of reading 3 lines of classified in a newspaper, calling if you can get someone on the phone, getting directions, doing a ride-by, and realizing, oh my goodness, this doesn't look anything like I thought from the 3 lines I read in the newspaper. So I thought, isn't this an amazing opportunity to be able to do pictures and maps and information, and put it online, and someone like me could go and look and think, oh, okay, yes, I'm really interested in this property. I know I'm probably explaining something to you that you're thinking, my goodness, I know this already. But the point is that 12 years ago, this was not normal. And in Greenville, there was no website like that. So me being the entrepreneur that I am, said, okay, I'll build the site. It'll be the marketing arm for all these real estate companies that are not there yet. So I proudly built it and went to make my appointments and went to make my presentation. And I did that with all of the big real estate companies in town. And they all gave me the same answer. They all said, thanks, but we're going to continue to do it the way we've always done it. And if you know anything about entrepreneurs, you know that just motivates us. Well, it certainly did me, and I thought, okay. Well, if you're not willing to look at the customer and see what the customer's needs are and how things have changed, that's okay. I'll go to real estate school and I'll figure this thing out and I'll do it myself, which I did. And I must say that turned out really well. I will also say at this point that my first owner client, who is now my husband, was someone that I approached. He was trying to sell his home, and I said, listen, there's a lot of people who really are looking for a nice place to rent. Why don't you consider renting your home instead? Well, he didn't want anything to do with that. He didn't even want to think about it. But I convinced him. I said, trust me, you're going to find tax benefits. There's real benefit to you renting your home instead of selling it right now. So we did, and he loved it, and he loved his tax return when he did his tax return the following year. So then I made another guinea pig out of him. I called him up and I said, listen, I've got clients that I can't find property for. I'll do all the work. I'll go out and find the home. I'll make sure it makes you money consistently. I'll manage it. You won't have to do a thing. Wouldn't you like to invest in real estate? Well, he liked that a lot, so he said yes. And then, they say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and I've found out it's not. It's through his wallet. Teach him how to make money. So, needless to say, that blossomed into quite a friendship, and we are married, and I'm proud to say that he works with me today. He's actually going to be the president of the company. He comes from a corporate background, which is wonderful. It's a wonderful match and a wonderful blend with an entrepreneur such as me. And we together have, through the years of the last 4 years he's worked with me, we discovered this amazing business opportunity, which is what you're going to read about in the business plan. And that is National Real Estate Payments Corporation. And I'm not going to go into a lot about that right now. I just wanted to kind of introduce myself, give you the story of who we are. Hopefully this has captured your attention and you're interested in viewing the business plan, because I'm telling you, it's the next most wonderful, amazing thing. I know you hear that from every entrepreneur, but it is. And it's just in time in what's needed in our economy, especially for real estate right now. So again, thank you for your time, and I hope to hear from you and that you have some questions and we talk further. Have a wonderful day.